Okay, here we go for Monday night 9-ball Scotch doubles again, and we've got the lag just happening at the moment. Well, that's probably not the best lags you're ever going to see, but Larry and Sickpool won it, and they've got the break. Now remember, it's double elimination this tournament, and we'll have a quick look at the bracket just while Larry breaks off. This is a round 3 match. It's between Romario, zecarioca, Larry and Sickpool. It's also handicapped, of course, and up in the HUD there at the top it shows you that Team 1 are getting a 5-ball as their extra money ball. So the 5-ball and the 9-ball, of course, are going to be the winning ball for Team 1. And this could be a very close match if Team 1 actually play carefully and use a bit of common sense. Then they've got a good chance. So Romario rolls through for the 4. He's gone a bit too far, but his partner should just roll the 4 in. Nice slow pace. The cue ball's going to run away. Well, I don't think he actually attempted the pot there. I think he played safe. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So Sickpool plays the thin edge off the 4. 4's now tucked up against the 9. And if Romario had missed that 8-ball there, that would have been a good save. And Larry, knowing Larry, is probably going to try and thin this in. He could roll up to it and just hook them behind the 9, but he's more inclined to probably have a cut at this. Cue ball's going to be going up towards the 6-ball. Well, that was an attempt at the pot. And bearing in mind that zecarioca and Romario only need to get to the 5-ball, that was maybe not the wisest move there by Larry. Where's the cue ball going though? Oh, disaster. Well, like I say, you've got to play with a bit of common sense, and potting it at that angle then off was always going to be a risk. And I would suggest that that's Romario and zecarioca's chance gone in this rack, because they're only going to get one chance, and they blew it. All self-inflicted, nobody to blame but themselves. Well, this is the crucial shot though. Still got to get the 7 in and get the cue ball onto this 8 so that Larry can get back with the cue ball for the 9. I think there's a slight angle here that he needs to avoid hitting the 9. I think he can avoid hitting the 9 as long as he doesn't go forward. Well, he's went forward and he has hit the 9, he's chipped it out. So it's actually in a better position, but this is a pressure shot. Larry's got to get the weight right here. And Larry's taking his time. That's his 30 seconds gone, he's into his extension. Now, the pace looks perfect. I'd be happy with that one. Sickpool just needs to roll it in, and they're up 1-0. So, that's one that got away for Romario and Zecarioca. They really should have won that rack. And again, I would put that down to inexperience, because you know, instinct tells you when you look at the angle that you were potting that ball at, that the cue ball was going to go to the right as we look, and it was going to be close to that pocket. So you have to then take the pace off it and just make the cut and the 9 down the rail a wee bit more difficult for Romario. But anyway, it's all over. Oh dear. And now Romario's taking his eye off the ball. Must have been jiggling his cue about there to have miscued that one. And that's just another silly mistake. But you can't be playing these guys and do things like that, especially when you're the ones that are getting a handicap and you're not playing sensible pool. So now, with ball in hand, the balls are in the open. There's a wee bit of a, well, not so much cluster, but I mean the 6 balls there for the taking, but you've got to get from the 5 to the 6, and that position on the 4 isn't exactly perfect, so Sickpool needs to watch the in-off into the middle here. So just a plain ball and bring the cue ball back across. That's it. Now let's have a look at this shot from behind. So Larry's dead straight, so he's obviously got to draw it back and just leave Sickpool the cut on the 6. And again, you don't need to do anything with the cue ball. The cue ball's just going to come round and out behind the 9 for the 7, so it's just a bit pace. And that's a wee bit strong because he's now going to be very close to this 9 ball. You don't want to be colliding balls when you're trying to get position on that 8. Things can always go wrong. And I think he's maybe playing the deep draw here away from the 9. He's probably still going to hit it though, I think. I don't think he can avoid it. Well, it's a shot in the 8. And again, just a roll through and leave Larry at a distance. You don't need to do anything spectacular. So Romario and Zecarioca find themselves 2-0 down when it could have been all so different. And of course the two of them have each made bad errors, which have now got them 2-0 down. They just need to examine the video and they'll see the problem. Now, a couple of balls went in there into the left and right middle, and I think Sickpool's got a difficult cut in this one back into the middle. Does it go past the 2 though? No, he's decided just to play the safe. And also on that break, if you notice, the 5 ball is missing. The 5 ball was one of the balls that went down in the break, so that puts even more pressure on Romario and his partner, because they now have to clear all the balls, including the 9 ball, because their money ball has gone. So now they're the same level playing field as Larry and Sickpool in this rack. But there's a lot of work to be done because the 3 balls in no potable position. Now let's have a look at that. That looks too straight. There's a slight angle there, but there's not really an awful lot can be done with the cue ball to get on that 3. So Sickpool chose to leave Larry a difficult combo. difficult because of the distance between the two balls, but I mean, if he gets this online and plays it at the right pace, he should get the 8 in. And it goes, and he's got a wee break there as well. He's left his partner on the 3. Just thin it in, cue ball, maybe a wee bit of left on it if he wants. Yep, just to spin it across. Could have done with spinning it another probably 5 or 6 inches there. Now Larry's got to also put a bit of spin in this to come away, so that he didn't go square to that 7 ball, so he's done that. And the same thing again, cue ball's got to go left, got to go right off that side rail and then over to the left and back across the 9. Well, he's went round, which is probably the one that gives you a much bigger margin of error. So now Larry and Sickpool are 3-0 up. But the difference that time is that Romario and Zecarioca didn't get a sniff in that rack, so that was a genuine win, that rack, for Larry and Sickpool. A break and run. But they've came up dry. Romario's got a shot in the 1. They've stopped the cue ball for his partner on the 2. And this is where Zecarioca is got to just think and drop this cue ball round behind the 3. He's hit it too hard, but the 6 has done him a favour. And this is tough because it's difficult to get onto the 4 and the 6 ball's going to block him. Yeah, he's only short by an inch or 2 there. That was unlucky. And now this is where they need a bit of luck. Well, he's going to go for the jump. He's missed that, and he's left the 4 up. So I think the way it's been so far, Romario and Zecarioca are just going to get little tidbits here. And when you struggle for position, you struggle to win racks. It's an obvious thing to say, but that's where the game is easily won and lost. Just a little drawback here. And Larry might play this with a lot of inside English just to check the cue ball off that left rail and not let it run away and leave it on the 7. That would be the simplest shot. Well, he actually had the right enough angle just to stop it. Again, difficult when you're actually looking at it from this angle. It looked as if the cue ball wanted to run away, but he managed to just stop it dead. Now there is an angle, and Larry can spin this off the rail with the cue ball and get it down and across for the 9. Well, he's not done it. He's left it the same side, but it leaves a cut into a blind pocket here for Sickpool. And in it goes without a problem. So Larry breaking in rack number 5, and it's 4-0, and in goes the 7 in the bottom left. And that 1's getting a kiss by the 4, which is a bonus because that's pushed it on. There was no real shot in the 1 ball there until that 4 just nudged the 1 into play. And that's a wee bit of luck that you need. Well, Sickpool Was trying desperately just to hold that for the 2 ball there and leave it nice for Larry, but he's forgot the 1. So once again, it's an ugly looking table. Romario has banged at the 1, tried to thin cut it in, missed it completely. And is that 1 ball sitting as a combo in a 9? Yes, it is. Now, is Larry and Sickpool going to see the obvious there, or are they just going to try and run it out? And that's why Sickpool's asking Larry what's wrong with the 1-9 combo. Well, Larry's tried to nudge it in, which he's done perfectly. A nice little soft draw on the 1, nice kiss onto the 9, and it's now 5-0. Well, this is going to be short and sweet if this match is going to carry on the same way. And a dry break again. But this is a point in the course of the match where the 2 of these guys, Romario and Zecarioca, have got an open table. They've got the 1 ball in, they're on the 2. Romario just needs to hold it there for the long 3. Zecarioca drops the 3 in, leaves the 4 for Romario, and it's a 4-9 combo possibly. That's all he's going to have to do here, and he's done the best he can there. I don't think he could ask for an awful lot more. So in goes the 9, and as quick as that, they're finally on the board, and they've got the break. And in goes the 2 ball into the bottom left, 5 goes into the left middle, and no shot in the 1, unfortunately. And the 5 ball, of course, being Romario and his partner's money ball, it's spot money, so if the money ball goes in the break, it goes back up in the spot, which it has done. And Larry's using the balls in the middle of the table there for cover, and I think that's pretty sweet. Well, the kick is successful. He's got it fairly safe. Now, let's see what sort of shot he's got here. Well, the shot I would try would be lots of right English to try and kick the cue ball around the table and just bank the 1 off the side rail to the top rail as we look. He's gone for the cut and he's got it. That was a good shot because he's got his partner on the 3. That was something similar to what I was talking about, but at the end of the day he got the cut, which is the most important thing. This 5 just hampering a little. So he's went through, finished perfect in the 4. A little bit of inside English again here, maybe on this 4 ball, just to check the cue ball on the rail. No, he just played it soft. And probably just a roll through for the long 6. Now he's actually left that pretty nice. If you wanted to look straight down the barrel, okay, you could say he needed to run through another 3 inches or so, but he can actually just use the angle he's got to leave Larry on the 7 into the middle. Well, he's overcut it, and dare I say it, this is a gilt edge opportunity for Romario and Zecarioca to snatch another rack here. It might get interesting this match. It needs to keep running though. Is that going to pass the 8? Oh, it gets past the 8 by a mile. So that's just run a little too far for comfort again. But in it goes. And now nothing spectacular here, just roll it in. Don't try and stun it in, just roll it in. And in it goes. So now it's a deficit of 3 racks. Larry and Sickpool still lead by 5 racks to 2. Once again though, we've got a dry break. And probably a combo in this 7. You could play the snooker, but again I think Larry's only thinking about one thing here. So in goes the 7. The 1 has gone very tight to the rail and left an awkward cut down the rail for Sickpool. But if you look where the 2 ball is, the cue ball's going to be coming across to the left hand side as we look, so doesn't need to think about the cue ball as long as you don't hook Larry behind the 4, which he's done. And I think Larry will be out with the jump stick in a second or 2. And with the fact that the 2 ball is very close to the rail, if Larry doesn't get the pace of this right, he could bounce the cue ball onto that rail and off the table. Played it right, didn't quite connect with it to make the pot, but once again it doesn't matter. As far as Romario and Zecarioca go, this is another chance. Now Romario wants to come back with the cue ball about 2 inches here to leave this straight as he can for his partner. He doesn't want his partner to have to start running the cue ball, and he's played that not too bad. Now he could run forward with right English and go round behind the 6, which he's done, and that's a good shot. Now they can play the shots when they take their time, and this again is just a join of dots. There shouldn't be any problem here with running out, and of course forgetting the fact that they need the 5 ball, and that's their money ball. So now it's 5-3. Right, so dry break time again in rack number 9. Oh, that was a bad one. Now let's have a look at the top of the table here. That 3 ball goes past the 7. Now Zecarioca needs to play this so that the cue ball's going up the right hand side of the table. Now does he know how to do that? We'll soon find out. It's got to go up on the right side by the 9 ball, and he's played it the wrong way, you see. And that there is just lack of experience and lack of knowledge, because if he had the knowledge he would have known the shot to have played there to get onto that 3 ball, and that's unfortunate. So now Romario only had a kick on the 3, he hasn't got it safe, and this is where you're going to get found out when you play in doubles. You can have one strong player and you can have one weaker player, and between Romario and Zecarioca, I know that Romario's got a lot of experience in virtual pool. He certainly has, and Zecarioca has got an awful lot of learning to do. But with that shot that he had there was one particular way to play that to get the cue ball to go down the right hand side, and Zecarioca doesn't know that shot. And that's, I say, it's only through time. Through time, he will eventually pick that up. He will see somebody else play the same shot. Hopefully, for his sake, he does, and he learns from it. This is why Virtual Pool 4 is so great. You, as long as you learn from your mistakes, or you learn how to play a certain shot, over the time you will get better, and your positional play will get better. Now, while I've been jabbering on, I think Romario and zecarioca had another chance here, but it's back in the hands of Larry and Sickpool again. And this is a crucial shot in this rack. Plenty of room to manoeuvre here for Larry. There's no way he can't get on the 7 ball for his partner. He's either going to draw or is going to go forward. So he's went forward. He's played that pretty much on the money. And so it's keeping it nice and simple. Sickpool doesn't want to draw into the 9. That would be a mistake because he could hook himself behind the 9. You want to avoid these instances, so draw it back a couple of inches and leave Larry the cut down the rail. He's always going to be in the 9. Well, he's managed to avoid a 9, so that's fine. And it's all plain and simple from here on in. You either roll this dead weight or you just put a bit of bottom and you stun it in slowly. Not an awful lot of power. So that rack could easily have went to Romario and zecarioca, but as we saw, we know the reason why they managed to throw away their chance in that rack. Romarius went for the safety, he hasn't got it, and it's a fairly straightforward 1-8 combo here. And I wouldn't be banging this in, I'd just be rolling it down to try and drop it in pretty softly. Well, that's fine, because that's left it 1 ball there, sitting nice and handy. And you want to come back across between the 4 and the 9. It needs to keep running. That needed to run about another foot to make it a more controlled shot here, because Sickpool's again got the cut in the 2, and it's all about holding this cue ball for position. Now that could have been a really embarrassing shot there. He's managed to nudge the 9. So of course Larry and Sickpool are on the hill. They're just needing this rack to win the match. Let's have a look at that 5 ball. Does that go past the 7? Well, no it doesn't. So this is where they're going to have to get a wee bit of luck. The angle's there to nudge into that 5. Is he going to try and drop on the left rail? Let's see what he does. I think actually rolling this 4 in and trying just to roll down there if he's got the angle. Or is he going to try and move it? Well, he's tried to roll down, he hasn't gone far enough. And this has left a tough one for Larry. And he's played that well. And it looks all over for Romario and zecarioca. The only thing that can go wrong here is drawing the cue ball back, so he's just played it dead weight. Anywhere in the middle of the table is going to leave his partner on a 9. Well, Larry would want to take that one again, because if there was a bad place to put it, it was sort of there, that sort of in no man's land. So Sickpool's got the shot into the right corner or the bank, and he gets it clean. And so Sickpool and Larry win the match by 7 racks to 3.